We have a 2000 Honda Accord here, and we're experiencing some leaks on the brake line. And what we're going to be doing is changing the front flex line on this Honda. It's a pretty simple process, and it's basically the same for all the cars. Basically what you want to do is get some PV Blaster or some good penetrating oil and spray the fitting. Give it some time to soak. Spray this here. And also maybe a little bit down here on that. Okay, next what I like to do first is I like to break free the Banjo bolt, which is right here. This one happens to be the 14mm. Also, it's a good idea to have a pan underneath to catch all the fluid that comes out. Next, we got this 12mm bolt holding this brake line, so this bracket here needs to remove that. Okay. Next what we're going to do is we have this line fitting here that goes from a steel line to this flex line, and what we need to do is remove this fitting or break it loose and back it out so we can disconnect these two lines. And you definitely want to use a flare wrench for these because these are prone to stripping out, so you want to use basically a wrench like this, and it'll prevent that nut from rounding. And these lines are going to be rusty, so what you want to do is you want to work it back and forth to let that penetrating oil soak into the threads, because you do not want to mess this fitting up. Once you get it broken free and it's pretty loose, you can use a regular opening wrench. It'll make the process go a little faster. Next we need to remove this clip here that holds this brake line to this bracket. You just basically want to pry it out if you can. Sometimes they're kind of difficult to get out, depending on the location that they're in. This one's kind of obstructed by this strut and knuckle assembly. Just keep forcing it out and it'll come out. It's a spring tension clip, and that's all it is. After you get that clip out, you can just take your hose and remove it. At first glance, these two hoses look the same, but they're actually not. If you look on the parts, the part number is actually different for both of them, but visually looking, they kind of look the same. So what you want to do is you want to compare from the right to the left, and you can see that there is a difference here on this bracket, and the rest looks about the same. This flat here, when it's this way, this bracket is actually facing about this way at 45 degrees. And on this one, with the flat facing here, this bracket here is actually down about 45 degrees. So that's the difference between the two. And the hose that we just removed is this one here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare to make sure we get the right one. So this here, this flat here, if I put it this way, this bracket here is facing down about 45 degrees. So it seems like it matches up with this one pretty good. So I think this is the one that we need. A lot of times what happens is these sealing washers get stuck to the caliper, and you need to remove that and replace it with new ones. Now I'm in the process of reinstalling the new hose. And I forgot to mention earlier, it's not a bad idea to put a little penetrating oil on this bleeder screw because you don't want that to break on you. So basically what you do is just put the two brand new copper washers on both sides of